Hello guys, my name is Asmar Cavers with New York Power Authority. I am constructing part 2 of the webinar series. In this particular webinar series, we will be discussing how to respond to a Ariba sourcing request. As you know, this is part 2 of the webinar series. Part 1 was conducted by my colleague William Williams, and that was in regards to setting up your NYPA Ariba profile, getting the necessary documentation in order so that you can, and in fact, respond to our opportunities here at the Power Authority. So we will do just a quick, very brief recap. I do not want to spend time on the getting onboarded into the Ariba system because we already addressed that. I would like to take this time just to focus on how to respond to a NYPA RFP, because there's a lot of working and moving pieces that you would need to know. And that's very pertinent. So if you missed the first webinar, it is housed on our NYPA.gov website, and that should be titled Onboarding and Ariba Registration. So take a look at that if you haven't done so, and that is definitely a prerequisite to this webinar. So without further ado, we're just going to go back briefly just so I can show you how you would be able to go in to our opportunities and request the RFP and the bid details itself so that you can partake in our opportunities here at the Authority. So all of our opportunities are housed at the NYPA.gov domain. So what you want to do is type in www.nypa.gov. And once you're on this page right here, you'll see atop of this dashboard, you want to go to RFPs. RFPs brings you to the procurement opportunities page. Now, once you're on this page, this message board right here, it gives you updates on anything general that we have going on here with the Power Authority. As you can see that on, at the date of this recording, this is March 2nd, 2018, we have a webinar scheduled for March 22nd, 2018. And this webinar will discuss Ariba. So if this is something that you would be interested in, if you would like more information on Ariba, you can actually hit this link and sign up for any for this webinar, and you will be added to the pool and receive information on the webinar regarding Ariba on March 22nd. So what we want to do now is scroll all the way down and click continue. So now this is the procurement opportunities page, and this is just some high level, the Authority's goal is to optimally procure goods, services, and property at terms that meet our scheduling guidelines. In order to provide affordable and reliable energy to our customers in New York State, our mission complies with the applicable provisions of Article 4C of the Electronic Department Law of other public authorities laws. Please register below. Now again, this is part 2 of the webinar series. Part 1 actually takes you through to the registration process. What we're going to do is log in. So we log in, we accept the terms, we use our existing credentials. Oh, that did not work, so let me try it again. Okay, so now we are in. As you can see, clear as day, current bidding opportunities. Now, depending on where you're located in the state of New York, you can actually drill down by region. So if you're in the, oh, this is acting up. Let me just try that again. I don't know why that's doing that. Let me just refresh this page. It might kick us out. Yep, so, but we'll just log back in, and because I was glitching there. Okay, so we're in again. Hopefully we don't have this glitching issue. No, not for this site. So as we said, we can drill down by where we're located, where our business is located in the state. So we have the ability to drill down by site and category. So as you can see, here's all of our current opportunities. Now our current opportunities is everything that we have on the market right now, and that's available for you to bid right at this particular moment. So again, we'll just click on one just so you guys can see how, just the format of everything, and then just the RFQ overview, the categories for information technology, the bid description, et cetera, and then a link to Ariba. Now, if it's your first time and you're not a member of Ariba, this has a option here for first-time instructions for registration. But if you are registered and you did complete the Ariba registration process, what you want to do to get access to this particular bid is to click this link right here. Now, we're not going to click this link. This is just for demonstration purposes. But you would click this link if this opportunity is something that interests you. So that is how you request an RFP. So what we'll do now, if we request this RFP, we would go check our email. And I have my email opened up right here. And this is the general language that you'll see. The New York Power Authority has invited you to participate in the following project. This will be the name of the project, of course. Since this is a test project, we have test, and then the date which you submitted the invitation for. And so with your existing Ariba credentials, what you want to do is click here. So I clicked here, and it opened up on, I have a double screen, so I'll just pull this over. The supplier login information. It opens, the Ariba supplier login screen opens up, and here is where you would submit your Ariba credentials. And once you submit your Ariba credentials, you'll be able to look at the dashboard, see behind exactly what's going on, and view the RFP. So what I will do right now is log in. Okay. Okay, so now we're in. So the first thing you should notice is there's going to be statuses tabs. There's going to be a completed and an open. So I'll just collapse this one right here so you guys can see this easier. So completed is everything that we responded to in the past, and as you know, it keeps a tally. So there were 16 RFPs which we responded to in the past and which are now closed. And now we have one open one, which we just, which is still needs to be, which is still looking for our submission. So we're going to just open up the caret, hit the caret. If it's closed and you see that you have an open task, what you want to do is hit this caret right here. This caret drops down everything that is open or everything in historically which you responded to. So as you can see, this is everything historically. We'll close this caret and we'll keep this one open. So we want to go into test project. Okay. So this is the inside of the RFP. Now, anytime that you access an RFP, an Ariba RFP, depending how the owner of the project sets the RFP up, you might be prompted to respond to prerequisites. Now, prerequisites is an Ariba term, but really all they are is the terms and conditions. So Ariba lingo, let's say if you ever had to contact Ariba for a technical support and you're stuck on the prerequisites page, you would refer to the terms and conditions as prerequisites. So then you would say, hey, you know, I'm stuck on the prerequisite page. If you say, hey, I'm stuck on the terms and conditions page, that means prerequisites. So prerequisites is our terms and conditions. Once you select review prerequisites, which we will in a second, you're pretty much just agreeing to everything, to pretty much our NYPA terms and conditions. So it might have you fill out, now each prerequisites or terms, T's and C's is different depending on the actual scope of work. So some prerequisites you might see an attachment. Some prerequisites might just be a yes, no box you need to check. Some prerequisites might just be a scroll down and hit OK. So depending on how the NYPA owner sets up their prerequisites is how you'll need to respond to those prerequisites. So in this prerequisite right here, instructions, here goes the instructions, and we're just, okay, they put comparison, the time frame, the forms, what's needed, the bidder address, so the address should be the same as the one in the SPQ form, so you might just have to confirm your address. So we'll just do that here because it has an asterisk next to it. Any appendices, any codes, buyer, commercial, technical criteria. Now again, this is just specific to this particular test. And so once we answer the prerequisites, we just hit OK. Submit this response. Yes. Now again, this is not submitting the actual RFP. This is just solely submitting the T's and C's, terms and conditions, in Ariba, which is known as the prerequisites. So we just want to hit OK. Okay. So now we are in the RFP. Now, if you want to keep a copy of the prerequisites, you have you can go back right here, review the prerequisites, and print them out. You know, just so you can see exactly what you accepted. You know, the language that is in that message. You have an ability to do that as well. So pretty much, I am going to address all the frequently asked questions that we receive, you know, from doing these webinars, and these questions that, you know, pretty much come up when, you know, suppliers like yourself have responded to in the past. So the first one is, you know, we're going to discuss this dashboard right here, the download content. If you download the content, you are essentially just downloading the information and getting it on a Word form or a Excel form. However, it is just for viewing purposes. Yes, you can export the RFP in Excel and import it back into Ariba. However, this is not the tab where this is done at. This download content tab is just for viewing the RFP. Some individuals rather have a hard copy rather than versus looking at the screen. So this content tab right here is just for viewing. I will show you later on how to export the actual RFP, change your responses, or even just populate your responses, import it back into the Ariba system, and then submit for a proposal. But this is not that tab right here. Review prerequisites, as we already know, as we already discussed earlier, this is just a printout of the terms and conditions which you accepted. Select lots. Select lots is how we will be responding to the bid. This is just you can select lots as responding to an actual RFP. Print event information. Print event information pretty much just bypasses the download content and prints everything out. Prints everything out from one click. So if you do not want to download the content, you just want to just, hey, I see this, I just want to print it out right now, send it to my printer, you have the ability to do that as well. This timer here in the top right-hand corner, this timer is pretty much essentially saying that there's 29 days left to respond to this bid opportunity. So pretty much there's 1 month that we have to populate all the answers into this RFP and then submit this RFP to NYPA. One thing that you do need to know that NYPA, since we are a state entity, we cannot look at your answers before the bid due date closed. So let's just say that you run through the whole RFP, you fill out the RFP in its entirety, but you have 18 days left until the bid closes. If you would like to go back around day 10 or day 9 or day 8 because information has changed or pricing has changed, then you have the ability to go back, change your information, resubmit that form, resubmit the RFP without New York Power Authority ever seeing your old answers. So this is key right here. You want to know exactly how many days are left in the submission process, and you want to be made aware of that. So, and this is right here is just you know, the event contents. This is the checklist. So since we already went through the checklist, we'll hide this and we'll look at the event contents. So now the event contents is it's just broken out, you know, by this header. So this is the instructions, the introductions, the time frame of the project, certain forms that's needed or will need to be provided, appendices, codes, evaluation criteria, and again, this event contents tab, this is different for each project. So in some projects, it might only be an introduction and then a form and then appendices, depending on what category and how the owner, the NYPA representative, sets up their RFP. This will look different. This is pretty lengthy for the example of the project. However, you may not see, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 highlighted content to respond to. But just wanted to bring to your attention that, you know, this is right here. This is changing. So what we want to do is we want to select the lots because we want to respond to this RFP. Okay. Now, when we select the lots and we have a checkbox here and we see submit selected lots, this again is not submitting the full RFP in its entirety. This page right here is pretty much saying, well, the lots that's available for bidding, which is ring, pumps, westing, and then we have a company, we have a code. It looks like a material code right here. We're saying that, hey, yeah, we acknowledge that we would like to respond and bid for this particular item or material or service, etc. So this is just confirming that, hey, we acknowledge that this is what we're bidding on. Then we want to submit that. Okay. Now, this is a little something to make your life easier here in Ariba is this caret right here. This is the minimize/maximize caret. Now, as you can see, this is kind of squished. And as you can see right here, this is a pretty good sized document. So what we want to do is just hit this caret right over here just to expand everything. Now, now this right here is very important. This is a doc number. Again, the doc number is specific to Ariba. So if you happen to call up somebody from NYPA, New York Power Authority, and you give them this doc number, chances are they will not know the DOC number, or if they do, it'll take some digging because this number right here is specific to Ariba. So if you have a question for Ariba regarding this particular RFP which you're responding to, mainly it'll be a technical question, something to the effect of your attachments are not uploading, or you're submitting information and the system is not recognizing it and capturing that information. You want to bring to attention this DOC number. This DOC number is what will identify this particular NYPA RFP with Ariba. So this is an Ariba specific number. Now, New York Power Authority, we use letters in the front for our naming convention. So far, right now we're on letter Q. So majority of our RFPs will start with a Q. So it might be Q17, Q11, Q12, Q01, etc., etc. So anytime you see a Q number or a number that begins with a letter, that is an Ariba specific. That is a New York Power Authority naming convention, and that's what you will use when you are speaking to a Power Authority representative. Okay, so we'll just do one quick scroll so you can just see how this whole thing looks real quick. As you can see, the different criteria that we discussed over here, the event content. As you can see, we're just scrolling down. This is, like we said, each RFP will be different. I just want to just show you how it looks in the Ariba platform as a whole. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll start at the tippy top. Okay, so the first thing this RFP is asking us to do is to submit pricing. So we will submit pricing. And as you can see, if we scroll over to the right, anytime we submit pricing, we have to update the totals at the bottom. But so we update the totals. So we have $100 for 2. When we update our totals, all the math will be calculated. So we'll be able to see everything right here on the final cost or the total cost here on this page. So we'll submit $100 for 2 items and a discount amount of $5. And then we'll scroll to the next one. Now, in this particular next question, we have to attach a file. So what we'll do is we'll attach a file. Choose File. And we will go to Exported File. Hit OK. Okay, exported file. There. We're just going to keep going. We're scrolling. Bidder to confirm all company information is provided. Simple. yes. Or if it was no, select no. But you cannot leave an answer you cannot leave a question unanswered. So if we were to leave this as unspecified, the system will error it, and then it will let us know that, hey, question 8 in the introduction needs to be answered. So that's a yes. And again, this question right here, we're going to answer it. This is a yes. We have another question. Do you have all expectations to attachments? Yes. Exceptions? Yes. This one we will put a no, just for the purpose sake. Scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. Scrolling down. And we can expand if we don't like the view. It just depends, you know, your reading pleasure, you can expand it. So you could just easily read right to left, or you can keep it stacked. But it's all up to you guys. And that's what we want to do. We just want to go down and make sure we answer all the questions. So we have a form that they will want us to read. We'll download all the attachments because we see we have 3. And here goes the attachments. Insurance, they're asking for workman's comp forms, etc. So what we'll do, we'll just download all the attachments. Oh, we have to select which ones that we want. So these are the attachments. Again, we made this long so that we can show you exactly. We sign and upload attachments. No, I think we can just select. Yeah, we just select. Let me just select all of them there. That was easier. So done. And now that is downloading on my other screen. And once we do that, we have more files to attach. So what we'll do, we can also, guys, we can also drag and drop. So it says drop files here. For some reason that is not working. So let me just open up the files. Just do it that way. Okay. A lot of files. So some of these files require signature, certification, proof of certifications. So what we'll do is just certification form. We'll just do that and just hit OK. And then we'll just do the same thing, attach files, certification forms. I only downloaded, I'm only using one here, guys, but, you know, for the whatever question it is, you would like to make sure that the form that you upload corresponds with the question. Open. Okay. Again, we have more questions. Attach files. keep adding questions. There we go. Sorry for the, sorry if this is mundane, but we just wanted to show you this is how simple it is to, you know, add attachments to the document, and, you know, just to pretty much fill out this document in its entirety. So we're almost done here. Remember, every asterisk has to be answered. Because we do not want to bounce this, for this to bounce back. Okay. We'll keep scrolling right along. And this just looks like it's just language, just more language, a little more language. Oh. Scroll here to the bottom. Oh, we have a couple more. Yep, so we're on section 14 now. We'll attach a couple more files. Okay. No, sorry. Okay. So we answer that's a different question. That's good. Let's switch it to no. Services and capabilities are technical. We'll just put yes, very technical. Just to respond. Attach. And again, not all RFPs are like these guys. You know, this is just, you know, again, it's a test. We just want to show you how easy it is to go in, attach, go in, populate answers with responses, and populate pricing. So, but, you know, we're just making sure we, you know, attach all of our files that's needed so that we can submit a full bid. Okay. Oh, that's a big file we added. Okay. So 17, we're down the home stretch. Home stretch. Okay. These last two questions. Okay. So now if we didn't answer anything, first we would like to just update all of our totals. And that's pretty much in for our pricing. See, as you can see, remember guys, we put the pricing up here at $100 for $200, but we also added a $5 discount applied to both, which is two, total $190. That did the math correctly. So that's the updated totals. If there was a lot of pricing information that you were submitting, you would just pretty much double check the math on that to see if that is correct. So what we'll do now is we will, let me explain this bottom dashboard here. So submitting the entire response, kind of self-explanatory. Once we select this button right here, this will submit our responses to the owner they will get a notification. However, we have certain parameters set on our Ariba that it cannot be opened until that bid due date is closed. So if you submit an entire response, we will get a general notification here saying, such and such from ABC Company has submitted a response. Update totals. Again, this is in regards to pricing. And let's just say there's a bunch of line items that you have to fill out in this regard to pricing. And once you hit update, that it takes care of all the math for you in that regard. So you can see exactly what it is that you submitted at what particular price and what fees associated with that price has been accounted for. Reload the last bid. This is if you want to go back and go back into a previous bid and submit certain pricing, or you had certain attachments which is applicable for this one. If you reload that last bid, it'll pull up a history of certain attachments, and you can pretty much just grab certain attachments from there. It's a pretty cool feature, rather than having to rely on saving your files on your computer and then remembering where you put it. If you're working on a bid which is kind of similar, or you're submitting similar pricing, or they're asking for similar certification documentation, you have the ability to do that. Save, as you guys are familiar with the save button, you just save your work as you go. As you know, we're working, with computers and laptops and a bunch of other technology, smartphones. You never know when that, sometimes, these computers can just conk out. So you would like to just save your work as you go. As you know, this was a particularly long bid. So just imagine if you had to go in and update all these attachments, which we had to do so. So you want to be aware of that, guys. Save your work as you go. Compose your message. So if you compose a message, you are sending this message to the owner of the event. So that's the NYPA representative. Now let's just say you have a question on, the evaluation criteria specified in item 13. You can say, hey, my name is, such and such. I'm just responding to the bid. I see that you guys are requesting an insurance form. However, I would just want to update you that, my insurance form will be coming in, 2 weeks prior to the bid due date closes. You can put that information in this Compose Message tab. However, you must realize that since we are a state entity, and since this is an official state document, we cannot respond we can respond to your question. However, it has to be visible to the other participants in the bid. So if you're asking any questions regarding to a bid opportunity itself, the owner of this particular bid will see your question, and he will respond to your question, and he will post it on a forum in which all you guys have access to, and you guys can see the questions and the answers submitted in regards to this RFP. So you want to just be aware that the questions that you are asking here will be posted on a forum and shared via email or the Ariba platform from the NYPA representative. And the last tab right here is the Export Excel Import tab. Since we didn't export this as an Excel, we don't have the ability to import it as an Excel. But however, what we will do for demonstration's sake, we are going to submit this entire response right now. And once we submit this response, since there is time left on the bid, since there's time to adjust the bid, we're going to go back in and we're going to export these questions right here in Excel, and we're going to change the pricing, and then we'll import it back in Excel so you can see how that feature is done. So what we're going to do right now is to submit the entire response. You need to provide, see, I'm happy this kicked out. For demonstration, you need to provide an answer to question 10.2 PO address form, the name, the President, Secretary, Treasurer, and date of incorporation principal will be given. Okay, so we need to go figure out, we need to go fill in question 10.2. I'm actually happy that happened, so you guys can see. Question 10.2. Update file. We didn't answer all of these. Update file. Update file. Attach a file. Okay. And now let's try this again. Okay. So as you can see, guys, there were questions with an asterisk that wasn't responded to. So the system picked that up, it flashed it, and it let us know that, hey, in order to submit this response, you are going to have to answer these questions. And what we want to do is select OK. Now, we know that we have successfully responded to the bid when we get this green check mark, this green banner. So once we get this green banner, we know that we have successfully responded, and the RFP is now sitting with New York Power Authority. Now, let's just say, a week goes by, pricing changes. We can, offer a, a better competitive, price to our customer. So what we want to do is we want to revise our response. However, I'm just going to exit out just to show you how easy it is to go back in and do this as if we logged out. Okay, as you can see, guys, we log back in. And we'll just close this caret here, as we explained earlier, because these are all completed. And we still have the open project. So we'll click on it again. And once we submitted a response, this will be the screen. As you can see, you have submitted a response for this event. Thank you for participating. But again, as we stated earlier, we would like to change the response. Okay, and then we get this prompt. You have already submitted a response for this event. Click OK if you would like to revise your response. That's exactly what we want to do. So we're going to do Excel. So we're going to do an Excel import. So what we want to do is to download the content. And once we download the content, as you can see, this Excel is right here down at the bottom. Now it opened up on my other page. I'm sliding this over now. See, now here is how the RFP looks in Excel format. So these are the different tabs, and this just this is given by Ariba. These color tabs just let you know what data can be populated in each specific color. So when you guys get a chance, you guys can read through that. That's pretty self-explanatory. The response instructions. This pretty much just lets you know that you cannot format this particular document. This particular document has been customized. It's customizable so that nobody can reformat or re-engineer this particular document. You can't delete certain questions. You can't delete certain items. It has to pretty much stay the same, and the answers has to be filled out according to the rules of this document. That's the only way it allows the export import to work. And as you can see, we have questions, the different questions tabs. Let's keep scrolling over. Okay. And as you can see, now we cannot attach documents to an Excel sheet. But however, it will give you the name of the the name of the attachment which you did upload into the Ariba platform. So yes, we cannot attach documents to Excel, but it will give you the name of the attachment which is housed in the Ariba platform. So the only reason that we would want to do Excel is for pricing. Some people are just they just like working with Excel better for submitting numbers or working with numbers, and that's what I would recommend using Excel for. If you just want to import your pricing information there. So what we want to do is just pretty much scroll through, and as you can see, our pricing is in other content. And here we go. As we can see, guys, remember it automatically grabbed that information from Ariba, and it populated here in Excel because we submitted the answers already. So we have a price, $100. Let's just say our price went down to $90. And on top of that, a discount, we can add $7.50. And what we want to do, because that's the only thing we want to change, to save this document. Let me just save as and put it on my desktop, so when I upload it, I can easily find it. So test project, So if I just want to save just to make sure, and we'll exit that out. So now we're back to Ariba. What we want to do is choose a file, go to desktop, test project, there he is, open, upload, import successful. And as you can see, guys, all the information is dragged, populated perfectly. So $90, so it's $180 for both, but then we'll expand this right here, the discount price of $7.50 right there. Update totals, we'll just do that, but the totals are updated. $165 is the final cost. And so what we'll do right now is to submit entire response again. The response has been revised and submitted. Thank you for participating. And guys, that is pretty much it. That is how you respond to a New York Power Authority bid. Again, this was rather lengthy because I would just want to show you the multiple steps and the multiple different scenarios on what you can be asked. You can be asked, a plethora of different ways to populate an RFP. One being to submit pricing documentation, two, to submit attachments. Three, open comment boxes where you can use free text and respond to questions that way. So there's a medley of different ways that you guys will be asked to provide in provide information in regard to the bid. But this is it. Everything that we discussed will be in every particular bid. Everything will be consistent. You will not see anything different here. Only thing different will be the length. So as you guys know, just a quick recap: prerequisites, Ariba terms and conditions. You respond to the terms and conditions. You're essentially saying, hey, I respond, I agree with this, and I'm willing to move forward. The DOC number. This is an Ariba. A naming convention, and this is how they look up RFPs which you're having technical issues with. Anything technical will be if your answers are not populating. If you're submitting the Excel import and that information is not successfully captured and reflecting in the Ariba platform. This timer allows you to know how many days you have available to respond, and you can go back and revise your responses as many times as you would like to, as long as there's time on this counter. Select the lots. Select the lots. Again, is how you respond to the bid. This is just saying, okay, this is the RFP. Yes, I want to respond to this particular RFP. Another check mark. And then, filling out this information right here, this event contents, pretty much is all the different categories that you need to go through, categories and questions, which the RFP has specified out for you to submit and enter. Compose message. Again, if you submit a message in the Compose Message tab, it will be captured, and it will be responded to by the NYPA owner. However, that information will be sent via email with all the questions submitted regarding this RFP. So just note that any question that you submit using this tab is going to be put in the pool, and the person, now your name and your company name will not be added to that pool. It will just be the question, and from there, the NYPA representative will respond to each of those questions. And as you guys know, you can use Excel. You guys can populate your RFP using Excel. However, you cannot attach attachments via the Excel platform. The attachments have to be made via the Ariba platform. Excel is mainly used for populating open text questions and pricing questions. If you have any other questions, let me share with you my contact information. This is my name, and of course my phone number. If you guys have any questions regarding the Ariba process, whether that be onboarding, or just searching information, or just any general question, feel free to shoot me an email or contact me anytime. I hope this session was informative. I hope that in the future you guys can just easily breeze through the RFP process. But if you have any further questions, here's just my email and my phone number, and please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you. Signing off.